Hey guys, what's up? So it's been a while since I've done a video, and behind me is a new setup because a month ago I moved in with my girlfriend to our own apartment house, and this is like this is going to be, it's still a work in progress, but my music studio room. I got my drum set right next to me. You can see part of it. There's a couple posters, a Demi Lovato poster, which we will talk about her in this video, obviously, if you see the title. But yeah, this is just going to be probably where I record videos, play music. My collectible things also are going to be set up in here. I have boxes and things that aren't on the walls yet. So this is still a work in progress, so bear with me here. But hopefully I can add some more pizzazz to the background, use different sides of the room. I'm going to be doing an album review on Demi Lovato's latest album that came out. This is her 6th studio album, which is very exciting. Demi Lovato hasn't come out with music since I believe 2017 or 2018 if I'm not mistaken. Her last record was Tell Me You Love Me, which I was not too fond of that record. I felt like and it just didn't feel authentic to who Demi is as a person, and I feel like this was more of like a label thing. She's back with a comeback. There was this huge announcement she made 2 years ago, around the time after she came out with that album, about announcing that she relapsed, and it was this whole public thing, and I didn't realize how serious it is, but her new documentary is out on YouTube, so I would highly recommend watching that to kind of get more insight into Demi, because I feel like the documentary and this album go hand in hand within Demi's story during the relapse and after that. And that's what this whole album is really about, and it says within the title, her 6th studio album, which I haven't said yet, is Dancing with the Devil, the Art of Starting Over. So it's almost kind of like a two-chunk thing, really, on how she has this album set up. It's very different for her, and I was very excited to see a huge list of songs, because if you guys don't know, I'm just a huge Demi Lovato fan. She's one of my favorite pop artists, and just one of my favorite people in general. And I love her as a person. So I was super excited to see a huge list of songs here, and some of the songs on this album were already released prior to the album coming out, and some songs have been out for a while. The first track, Anyone, this song she released, I want to say it was last year or the year, I think it was the year before maybe. She performed this song, and it's just a jaw dropper. It's an absolute ballad jaw dropper of a song. You hear this, and it's got this really nice piano, kind of piano feels like it could be in a Christina Aguilera song, and you definitely see through this album Demi's influences and inspirations, but also keeping true to herself as well. What makes her special. But this song, piano-wise, reminds me of a Christina Aguilera type ballad. However, she really steals the show with her voice here, and the lyrics to this are very straightforward, and you can feel the desperation in her voice as she's singing. And then when she belts out the words towards the end of the song, Anyone, she's begging for somebody to be there for her, and she feels like she's tried so hard and nobody's really listening to what she's saying, nobody's hearing her out. And that song just, it starts with a real tone for the album, but not necessarily in a somber way. This album kind of goes through stages, almost kind of like Hayley Williams' solo record, kind of reminds me of that, with the storytelling about her and everything. Then you go into the second track, Dancing with the Devil, which was released as a single for an upcoming album. Really, this was the song that made that announcement of, oh, a new album from Demi Lovato. This song is very explosive. It's got this really kind of sassiness about it and cinematic value to it for a pop song. I really love this song. I can see how this would be hard for some people to listen to. Just the album as a whole too, if they struggle with an eating disorder or drug addiction, or if it's just like a trigger for them, I can see how this album would be very hard for them to listen to. And this song in particular, she really puts it all out there with this song. And this song kind of is the perfect package to explain what happened to her with her relapse. It starts out slow and then it just builds up into such a grandiose thing. I love it. Then you go into the next track, which is I See You, Madison's Lullaby. This song was written about Demi Lovato's younger sister, Madison. And definitely the way the melody is and the way the piano is so delicate, it definitely feels like a lullaby song. So it's very fitting to add that in here. And then the ICU is kind of a double meaning. Demi talks about how she was in the ICU and her sister came to visit her and she didn't recognize her sister because of how deteriorating like Demi's body was going through so much in the ICU. And then she was talking about how like now I see you like her sister. So I really love the double meaning to this song. It's a very sweet, a very delicate song. Demi's vocals on this just sound so beautiful. I think it's very wonderfully written, and it's one of her best songs, like from her personal life, and I really love how she's talking about her family here. And then it kind of transitions into the intro track, which is like the intro to the rest of the album, kind of. Demi's basically talking in this for like about like 30 seconds, and she's just saying how this is her journey, and since the relapse, like this is like the art of starting over, and it goes right into the song, the art of starting over. And I really enjoyed that. Like I said, the two-piece thing kind of with the beginning showing Demi struggling, going into the ICU, and then it talks about her life after that. And I really enjoy that. The art of starting over. This song's got a very groovy vibe to it, kind of like the bass and the beat, and it's fun. This song is a fun song. I really enjoy this one. Kind of straightforward lyrics, but it's just a nice relaxing song. This is something you can definitely like listen to on like a summer drive. This is definitely one of those songs, and also just the positivity of this and her ready to better her life. And I think this is a great song. And then it leads into the next track, Lonely People. This song, at first I wasn't too fond of. The more I hear it, the more it's a little annoying to me. The song kind of just feels like one big chant anthem, but it feels like something I've already heard on the radio before, from like the production to like the chanty anthemic vocals. It just feels like one of those pop songs that's already out there. And the song just talks about how everybody has felt alone, and sometimes you don't always have to be in a relationship, and that's okay to be lonely. And it kind of just talks about a big lonely people friendly, and like it's a little catchy, but this song wasn't one of my favorites. I didn't hate it either, but I think it gets a little annoying after a while. This isn't one that I would like repeat over and over, but I think it's listenable enough when you listen to the album as a whole, if that makes sense. The next track after that is The Way You Don't Look at Me. This song kind of gets more into a somber tone. This is talking about how she feels very insecure about her body, and she feels like, I think it's talking about a significant other, and how they don't look at her the way she wants them to, and to be like, oh wow, this is my person, whatever. And this song definitely has like a sad tone to it, just from like the piano to kind of the hollowness of the song and how Demi's singing it. Going to the next track, which is one of my absolute favorite tracks on this album. I love this song. I can't stop listening to it. It's so orgasmic to me, and it's Melon Cake. This song is so fun. It's got a great beat to it. The way Demi kind of does her vocals and the verses, and then even in that chorus when it hits, there's something so unique about this song that Demi hasn't done before. It feels very electrifying, and I like songs where she feels very locked in, and this is one of those songs. Another example of that where I feel that way with her vocals and her kind of getting into this very serious tone, but also not, is like Firestarter. That's like another song to me that kind of reminds me of Melon Cake. This song is just all around a top-notch song, and I feel like you really need to kind of look at the lyrics to this song and what it's talking about, because at first it doesn't really make sense when you listen to this song, but when you look more into it with Demi's story, I guess she used to have watermelon cakes on her birthdays, and then they talked about how anybody that worked with her got in trouble if they had like junk food or whatever, like chocolate, they got fired. And she's kind of talking about like getting arrested for chocolate. I think she's just taking a stand and like saying like it doesn't matter, like I don't need to have all these restrictions in my life. Sorry, I'm like looking at my Spotify thing on my computer as I'm doing this, but I love this song. This is hands down one of my top favorites, if not my favorite. She's kind of got this, there's like a bounciness about the verses, and then she's just very locked into that chorus, and it's this really like, oof, she's got like this perfect like tone, and it's just awesome, and it's so set in with this song. Anyways, we go into the next track, which is the first like feature on the album when you listen to it from start to finish, and this is Men in Last Night featuring, easy camera, featuring Ariana Grande. I guess Ariana Grande wrote this song, and you can definitely see her influence on this song, the way that the melodies are and how the song is arranged. I think this song is really just a fun song to me. You look at it and again, she's talking about the devil, and she uses the devil like metaphorically through bits and pieces of this album, and talking about her spirituality a lot. That's a huge focus on this. But she's talking about met the devil last night, and I don't know, she's just talking about like this guy that she really has this obsession with. Sounds like a very club, trappy pop song. And I think Ariana and Demi honestly are harmonically in tune with this song. There's this sassy vibe about this. You have Demi taking a verse, Ariana taking a verse. I'm not a big Ariana Grande fan, but I think with Demi Lovato it does work, and I think overall the song is just really fun. Definitely a good song to listen to at night. And then we go into the next track, What Other People Say. This song was also released as like a single, and it's featuring Sam Fisher, who to me just sounds like a cheaper or washed out version of Ed Sheeran. I'm not saying his voice isn't good, that's kind of just what it reminds me of. This song wasn't one of my favorites when it came out. I'm like, I appreciate the message of this song and what she's trying to say. However, the song just musically feels very basic to me. It's kind of got this swing pace throughout the song. I love the end, kind of when Demi's just like soaring with those vocals and the harmonies as like the chorus goes back in again. But overall, this song isn't one of my absolute favorites. But again, it's listenable for the album, and I don't hate it whatsoever. We go into the next track, Carefully, which kind of talks about you have to be careful with, like, if you want to be in a relationship with me, you have to be careful with me. I'm delicate, I'm fragile, like, I have feelings, I'm very emotional. And that's kind of what this song is about. I really enjoy this song too. I think it's a great message again. I love the way Demi sings this song. I think this song is honestly spot on. Not much else to say about that, but probably another one of my standout favorites. The next song is The Kind of Lover I Am. This song feels very like, kind of like an indie pop song. It's got this like beat to it, and it's like, that's the kind of lover I am. And it's very like breezy. Feels like again, like another song you can listen to in the car, kind of on like a summer day or something. And this song basically just goes into Demi's sexuality, saying how she loves everybody and she doesn't care if you're a guy or a girl, and you know, she just wants to be loved, but at the end of the day she doesn't care if she wants to be loved. I think it's just a fun song. And then there's this whole little bit at the end where Demi's voice is kind of pitch shifted, and she's like going into how, I don't care if you have this or that. I don't want to say exactly what it was because it's a little graphic, but it's kind of a fun way to end the song. The next song is another featured song and this one's with Noah Cyrus, and this song's called Easy. I actually do like some of Noah Cyrus's music. She definitely does have a similar style to Miley Cyrus, but you can tell them apart alto at the same time. And this song's really good because it kind of just talks about how it's like, oh, it's so easy for you to let me go, kind of like in a relationship or a friendship, talking about how you still like latch on to this person in some type of way. I think this is another like really good feature where Demi and Noah feel very synced in together. This song definitely has a sadness to it, has a melancholy feel to it. The instrumentals didn't really stand out, mostly as the vocals and the melody and lyrics did to this song for me. I really enjoy it. I think Noah Cyrus sounds great. I think both of them together sound great. They both trade off verses in the chorus. The next track after that is 15 Minutes, and this song is one of the more shorter songs off the album, but it's very to the point and it's very aggressive in a way. This is probably one of my favorite songs in the album too. I really enjoy the lyrics and I love the way Demi's singing this song. She talks about basically her past engagement last year with Max Enric, if I'm not mistaken. He's like some upcoming actor, musician guy. I thought they had a really good relationship, but she found out that he like staged a picture of himself pretending to be crying and praying on a beach. And this song is kind of about her just saying you got your 15 minutes of like fame and that's all you wanted and you didn't really want a real relationship anyways. Like it felt like you just used me. I love her aggression and her sass on this song, and she's just going at it, and you really feel her emotion in this. This song vocally too is one of the most unique things I've heard from Demi. Next track after that is My Girlfriends Are My Boyfriends featuring Saweetie. I've never personally heard of her before. I guess she's like more of an upcoming artist. I don't know if she's like a rapper, singer type person. This is the first time I've ever heard her. And this song, again, kind of feels like a trappy pop song, a little more on the darker side, almost kind of like Met Him Last Night does. I feel like those two songs kind of go hand in hand together. And this song's kind of just about how she keeps her friends really close and she treats them like she's dating them kind of thing. And it's just kind of about like sister love, so to speak. This song I think is fun enough, honestly. I think it's got a nice little and like how it builds up. And I think overall, Saweetie, I think that's how you say her name, she sounds good enough. I never heard of her until this track. Switched hats and the lighting's a little bit different. That's the joy of editing, but also the joy that my camera died halfway through this video, so gotta love that. Anyways, the next track I was talking about was California Sober. This song, I didn't know exactly what she meant by, obviously she's talking about her recovery and talking about her sobriety here. California Sober though is a very, like, I guess specific term or a different type of recovery process. Basically California Sober means that you're sober of hard drugs but you still drink and smoke weed in moderation. And she kind of talks about how like this is a choice and everybody's different in the song, and talking about how she thinks that being California sober is best for her, but for other people it's different. And this song is just kind of about like addiction and recovery. I think it's a beautiful song. I really love the vocal layering on this and kind of just the sparkly shimmer to the production on this song. The next song is a cover of a Tears for Fears song called Mad World. Demi definitely adds a very delicate touch to this song, makes it very dark. I mean, the song is already dark, but she adds it in more of a laid-back sense with her vocals and kind of takes it in a little bit more of a different direction. But I think this particular Tears for Fears cover definitely complements the rest of the album, even though it's not her own song. The lyrics definitely, I think, still relate, because ultimately that song is talking about trying to fit in and trying to live through a chaotic world, and that kind of relates to her journey and her struggle of staying sober. And going to the next track, which is Butterfly, and this song is about Demi Lovato's real father who passed away, and talking about how she sees him as this butterfly, and that's kind of her way of remembering him, even though she didn't have a great relationship with him. His death, I think she accepts like that she can still have this special memory of him, even though he had his struggles as well, and she kind of fell into his footsteps with addiction. But she always, on a few of her albums, has tend to wrote a song about her dad. There's a couple other songs written about the struggles with her dad, but I think this song is a song where she felt like she let go of all of the grudges that she had with him and kind of let go, and to her he's like a butterfly. And the song's very beautiful. I do love the very light kind of butterfly, butterfly, and then it builds, and then the last like minute of the song, Demi's kind of just pouring her heart out, talking about how she needed to make amends with her father in some way. So I really like that song as well. That's probably one of my favorites on this record. Closer for this album is called Good Place. This is more of an acoustic-y, stripped down song, and this just kind of closes the album out in a good finish, and she's kind of just now reflecting on the positives in her life and bettering herself and feeling like she's finally in a good place through all of these things that have happened in her life. And I think it's a great way to close the album. It's more stripped back and reflective, and the album kind of started that way from the beginning with a stripped back song, but it was very emotional and powerful and kind of just laid everything on the table of her desperation, and then closing it out with her feeling like she can come to terms with her issues and she moved past them and everything. So I think this was a great album by Demi. I definitely think it was one she needed to make. There's a lot of songs on here, a lot of songs to break down, and the album doesn't necessarily flow from start to finish. Does it tell a story lyrically? Absolutely. I think it tells a great story lyrically of her struggles, and I can see the up and downs. Sonically, this album's a little all over the place. How you have those piano ballads, those very poppy, upbeat tracks. You have some trap style songs as well, and then some more organic instrumentation songs too. Not just the piano ballads, but like I said, with like Good Place and stuff. And you hear guitars and drums and bass throughout this album, but there's also a lot of pop elements, synth elements, trap elements. Just a lot to break down here. But I think this album definitely tells a beautiful story of where Demi is now. Really inspiring, and I hope you guys enjoyed this album review. Kind of a breakdown of the full record. It's probably pretty long, but I really wanted to have another album review out there, and this one was actually completely non-scripted. Please just follow me, subscribe to me. If you like this video, please like it. Check out some of my other album reviews. I do vinyl collections as well. Hopefully might put up some more music covers soon in the near future, since I have my own place and I'm trying to get more free time too from work and such. As always, stay brutal, stay tuned for more videos, and see you guys later. Peace.